Hello everyone. Welcome back to the video on my channel. So I'm going to read Soccer Duel, continue reading Soccer Duel by Matt Christopher. I'm up to chapter 5 right now. And yeah, let's continue then. Chapter 5 on page 30. So in order to qualify for the championship round, your team simply has to win its last 2 games. Is that it? You have the makings of a great team statistician, Rennie said, clapping Norm on the back. Really to know stuff like that, but we don't have time to figure it out. Thanks, but no thanks, Norm said. Be grateful I'm coming along with you today. The two boys walked side by side toward the field. It was the following Saturday, and Rennie had finally talked Norm into watching him play. Hey, isn't that Bryce McJerk on the field? Norm asked, suddenly hanging back. You told me he wasn't going to be here. I said we're not playing his team, Rennie corrected him. His game must just be ending. But it wasn't. It was only the start of the second half. As they soon found out, play had been delayed because the ref's car wouldn't start that morning. What's the score? Rennie asked John Singelman, who was standing on the sidelines. 6-3 Yellow Jackets, John told him. Bryce has 4 goals. Oops, make that 5. A roar had gone up from one side of the field where the Yellow Jackets and their fans were whooping it up. Bryce pumped his fist into the air and ran down the field, then went into a triumphant slide, shimmying to a stop. That kid is a one-man team, said a man standing next to Rennie. The man wrote some notes on a pad he was carrying. He frowned and shook his head. Rennie thought the man looked familiar. Hey, he nudged Norm. Who's that guy? That guy? Norm looked past Rennie. That's Coach Harrelson. The high school coach? Rennie breathed, turning to sneak another peek before the coach looked up from his pad. He's checking out players for next year's junior varsity squad, I heard, John Singelman said. You play like you did last week and he's gonna notice. Rennie gave an embarrassed laugh. I probably won't even play much. You're first string now. I'm just subbing for you. Nuh-uh, John said, shaking his head. Didn't you hear? Coach is going with you for first half. He's going to ride the hot hand. Huh? Rennie couldn't believe his ears. You're starting, man, John told him. I'm moving over to left wing to make room for you. Hey, I hear you were awesome last week. Rennie still couldn't believe he was starting. If only his mom or dad were here. He looked again at Coach Harrelson. He said Bryce McCormick was a one-man team, he said to John Singelman. Well, he is, John acknowledged. That kid is good. Trouble is he knows it. Get what I mean? I get what you mean, Norm broke in. Rennie was too preoccupied to react to Norm's comment. He was starting at center striker today. He looked out into the field, watching Bryce move with the ball, bowling over defenders with his combination of aggressiveness and size. I can never be as good as him, Rennie murmured under his breath. Plus, he's got that killer shot. As it to punctuate Rennie's thought, Bryce put a monster shot past the goalie's left shoulder for his 6th goal of the game. Rennie knew his own strengths were his speed, his moves, his ability to think ahead, and be in the right place. Those are all good things, but could they substitute for size, aggressiveness, and a killer shot? Rennie looked at Coach Harrelson, who was writing in his book again, shaking his head and frowning. He can't believe how good Bryce is, Rennie said. Rennie whispered, awestruck. Who could believe it? And Bryce is having the game of his life besides. Rennie sighed, wishing he were bigger, meaner, more of a banger, more like Bryce. It would have been nice to be the one Coach Harrelson wrote about in his little scouting book. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Chapter 5 of Soccer Duel, pages 30 to 33. Take care, everybody. Another video for my Storytime channel. So take care. Another video for my Storytime channel.